$50.
Don't you just want to pull her cheeks?
Wow.
Can I take a picture?
Could you stop? My mom said and pulled me away from the strangers. This happened almost every time we went out. Apparently, I was really cute. And whenever people saw me, they'd either stop and stare or come over and try to talk to me. I didn't mind, but it seemed to annoy my mom every single time. I was an only child and lived with my mom and dad. My mom ignored me most of the time, but my dad adored me. I didn't even feel bad that my mom didn't give me much attention because everyone else did. Strangers showered me with affection and gifts, and my dad would sometimes play the role of both parents. This weird relationship with my mom eventually ruined my life. But you need to keep watching to find out how. As I grew up, my mom started doing more than just ignoring me. She made an effort to be mean. I think I was in the 4th grade and Mother's Day was going to be soon. I made her something really beautiful in my sculpting class. It was a replica of a mother holding a child's hand. I remember spending the whole night trying to wrap it carefully so I could give it to her the next day. I decided to give it to her before breakfast. She was sitting in the living room looking at her phone and I approached her. "Happy Mother's Day, Mom." Thanks." She grabbed it, opened it, and stared at it like it was the ugliest thing she'd ever seen. "What is that? It's hideous." She threw it on the floor and it broke. "Oops. That was an accident," she smirked. I ran to my room crying. She convinced my dad that it really was an accident, but I had seen her do it on purpose. It was only when I became a teenager that I realized that my mom was jealous of me. I was passing my parents' room one night and I heard them arguing. This was something they'd started to do a lot of. I listened through the door.
You're a crazy woman, and I'm sad it's taken me this long to realize.
"You're the worst husband on the planet!"
Well, at least I'm not jealous of my own child.
"Jealous? What are you talking about?"
You just can't stand the idea of anyone getting more attention than you. You changed since the day Sarah Lee was born, and you've become worse and worse.
"But you always treat her better than me! Everyone does! Even strangers on the street love her! Nobody loves me! I wish I never had that stupid baby!"
Monica, I want a divorce.
It was all too much for me. I ran to my room and cried for a while. My mom wished she never had me? My parents were getting a divorce. Why me? Why now? After I got over the shock, I realized that this was probably the best decision. My parents split up and I moved to another state with my dad, who eventually got married a few years later. By that time, I was already ready for college and I was super excited. I got into my dream university to study forensic science, and I'd never been happier. My dad, his new wife, and their baby accompanied me to the airport and I said goodbye for a few years. College was a blast, like I expected it to be. I met the man of my dreams, Damien. We were in the same class and I think it was love at first sight because the first time we saw each other, we both couldn't stop staring. After a few months of dating, we decided to move in together. He had his own apartment because, well, apparently his family was rich. But I didn't care too much about that. It was his personality I was attracted to. And also, he was hot. We were in our last year of college and I came back to the apartment feeling really sleepy because I just had a horrible exam. Damien greeted me at the door with a big smile.
Hey, honey, someone special is joining us here for dinner tonight.
I started blushing, wondering if he was finally ready to introduce me to his parents. Were we really taking things to the next level? Who is it?
Come in and you'll see.
But before I could do that, a woman appeared behind him and flung her arms around me. My baby girl! My daughter! I missed you so much! Mom, what are you doing here? How did you even know where to find me? I asked your dad for your address. Come, let's sit down. There's so much I want to talk to you about. By the way, your boyfriend is gorgeous. Good job, she said while eyeing him from top to bottom. It kinda made me feel uncomfortable. Damien went into the kitchen and she sat next to me on the couch. Listen to me, Sarah Lee. I know I treated you badly all your life and I just came here to say that I'm sorry for all of that. The truth is, I was a bit jealous of you, but I've been going to therapy now, and I realize that none of it was your fault. You didn't ask to be born beautiful and perfect. Heck, you didn't ask to be born at all. I'm so sorry for how I treated you, and I hope that you can find it in your heart to forgive me." Then she took something out of her bag and showed it to me. It was the gift I'd given her that Mother's Day, except she'd gotten it fixed. I never threw it away. I'm so sorry about what I did. Please, accept me back into your life. I couldn't believe all of this, but I was a mature adult now, and I thought it'd be the best decision to forgive her. The three of us had lunch together, and it went quite well. Months passed after that weird day, and my mom and I kept in touch once in a while. Then, the best thing ever happened. Damien had finally introduced me to his parents at his house one Christmas Eve. His mom and dad made the cutest couple, and he had 2 younger sisters who seemed really cool. After we ate dinner, he gazed into my eyes, and then he proposed. It was the most romantic thing ever. His family was cheering and taking pictures, and I never felt happier. The whole family was involved in our wedding plans, and because I had recently made up with my mom, I asked her to join too. She came to Damien's family house a few times, and we all discussed the venue, bridal party, and all that boring wedding stuff. My mom decided to move closer so that she could be more supportive during that time, and I thought it was so kind of her. It seemed like she was really trying to make it up to me. Almost a year had passed, and our wedding was a month away, when Damien came home fuming one evening. "What's wrong, honey?"
What's wrong? Everything is wrong.
"Can you explain?"
I went to my house to get something, and you'll never believe what I saw in the living room. My mom was at work, and I thought my dad was home alone, but
"But what?"
your mother really is a piece of garbage.
"What?" He took out his phone and showed me a picture of my mom wrapped in his dad's arms.
My dad is having an affair with your mom.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm so sorry. Damien was so angry that he sent the picture to his family group chat on WhatsApp. Yes, they actually had that. Weird, I know. Before I knew it, they wanted nothing to do with me. Can you believe it? I hadn't done anything, but apparently it was my fault because it was my mom. So what do we do now that your whole family hates me? Do we call off the wedding?
I don't know how to say this to you, Sarah Lee, but I think so. My mom won't talk to me, and she asked me to choose between you and her. I can't choose you over my mom, I'm sorry.
I was heartbroken, crushed, devastated. And for about 3 weeks, I locked myself in my room crying and refused to come out. When I could think straight again, I decided to fight for Damien because I really did love him and I wasn't going to allow my mom to ruin that for me. I went to his house and brought his mother flowers, chocolates, jewelry, and every other nice gift I could think of. I begged for her forgiveness and explained that I really had no relationship with my mom as a child and that she's always been trying to ruin everything for me. We spoke for about 5 hours, and she finally felt sorry for me. So, we're in the same boat, huh? She ruined my relationship. Well, I can't let her ruin yours, too. Let me get Damien. I think he's upstairs. Damien!
Yes, Mom?
Your fiancée is here. I like her again. Please get married.
Oh, hi, Sarah Lee. It's so nice to see you again. Mom, are you serious? You don't have a problem with us being together?
Not anymore.
Sarah Lee, I'm so sorry about what happened. Will you still consider marrying me?
Of course, Damien. I love you. So, my wedding was back on, and I was the happiest woman alive. The day arrived, and I couldn't contain my excitement as I got ready. I put on my beautiful dress, and my makeup artist was in the middle of an excellent job when... Hi, honey! Looks like I made it here just in time. What are you doing here, Mom? You're not invited. All you ever do is ruin everything. Please leave. Just then, Damien's mom walked in and smiled. She can stay. Just let her stay. Calm down. I tried to calm down as she escorted her out of the room. This was all too weird, but I tried not to think about it too much because it was supposed to be my big day. Anyway, the wedding was awesome. I walked down the aisle, said I do, had a dreamy kiss. And then it was on to the reception. After we cut the cake and did our dance, I went back to some of my friends from college. We took a few pictures together, then I went back to the main table to look for my husband, but he wasn't there. I thought he probably went to the bathroom, so I decided to go outside for some fresh air. I went out into the garden and heard a strange noise nearby. I am a curious person, so I walked towards the noise to see what it was. You'll never guess what I saw next. My mom had her arms around Damien's neck. He was holding her around her waist and they were kissing. Mom! Damien! They stopped and stared at me. I stormed back inside and told everyone what I'd just seen. My dad came over and gave me a hug and told me I could go home with him that evening. The best day of my life turned into an absolute nightmare because of that jealous, awful, disgusting mom of mine. I will never forgive her. Or Damien. I hate them both.